Welcome to the Lebanese Grand Prix. I'm Roger Ware. The pre-race boat parade is a sign of changing times. 5 years ago, the thought of taking any major international sporting event to Beirut in the Lebanon was out of the question. But as part of the rebuilding process of the city, the Class 1 World Offshore Powerboat circuit holds the 5th of what will be 8 races in a city that still shows the scars of 18 years of war, though those scars are slowly healing. And what better stage than this, the first of the season to be held at an Arabic venue, for the defending world champion Victory team to start their surge towards regaining their crown. The Dubai-based team have been cleaning up in Class 1 offshore since they first competed in 1992. But despite the smiles on the faces of pilot Saeed Al-Tayyer and throttleman Felix Sorales III, they've not had too many reasons to be cheerful this season. They've yet to win a Grand Prix. Second in Taranto, their best result. But a third, fifth and retirement is not the form of world champions. They've been beset with problems on the Lamborghini engines they, like most of the teams, are using this season.
The season has not really been up to our expectations. We've had a lot of mechanical failures, mainly engines and crankshafts. It wasn't expected.
The Victory stable has 3 boats, but it's Victory 1 who holds pride of place. The team were world champions in both 1995 and 96. This is very much a Dubai-run operation. The state-of-the-art factory from which they design and build their craft is supported by the Emirate. The success of Victory is used as a marketing tool, and they count amongst their active supporters Sheikh Ahmed bin Saeed Al Maktoum from the ruling family.
I think the sport, the powerboat sport really developed in the last 10 years, especially in the Gulf region. That's why we see more and more people who are really interested among a lot of people in the UAE, among the national and expats who really join the races in the UAE. And I think there is a very good future, and it is really a very good publicity for Dubai and the UAE internationally also.
Victory's pursuit of excellence has also persuaded them to import the best talent from around the world. That includes the vastly experienced Puerto Rican throttleman Felix Sorales III.
Back in 1989, I started to run the tunnel boats, that's Formula 1, and we were very successful in that class. We won the World Championship in Abu Dhabi in 1994. That was very exciting. But the pinnacle of my career was winning the Class 1 Offshore Championship in 1995 and 1996.
In one race, I would share a secret with you. I mean, in Oslo, no, it was in Arendal, in Norway, and it was about 1.5 meters, 2 meters, and I tell you what, I said to him, if there was a Beethoven out there on the high seas, well, you are playing a symphony like Beethoven, so I hope that tells the people or the public a little bit about Felix.
Sorales has another major supporter on the circuit, his father, Felix Sorales II, who follows his son to just about every venue.
I'm just a fan. Basically, my hobby is boat racing. Before boat racing, we did motorcycle racing. And it's always been a family sport. My wife, Felix's mother, basically, and all our sons. They all race motorcycles. And then we switched to boats, and basically it's a family situation. His mother isn't here because he's taking care of Felix's kids, live with Felix, and somebody has to babysit, so unfortunately she couldn't make it.
That's a shame. She'd have enjoyed the Mediterranean waters off the Lebanese coast, which are slightly choppy, conditions that should suit Victory.
Luck hasn't really been with us this year. We've had a few minor problems that have stopped us winning a race in the World Championship yet. Hopefully, we can turn that round here. The water in the Lebanon is as we like it this time.
El agua está como nos gusta correr a nosotros y estamos ansiosos por correr aquí.
Despite trailing in the World Championship proper, Victory One are still competing for the pole position World Championship. And it's for that race that we join our commentary team of Derek Lloyd and first, Mark Robson.
And it's all about straight line speed in this series. Victory One first away. They won at Toronto in June, 2 seconds and a third. Second overall before this race. The leaders are Spirit of Norway 6. They're not here though. Their boat was pretty much devastated by fire in Oslo. And a real chance for Victory One to nip into first spot overall.
Yeah, the sea conditions are totally different to anything we've experienced. The wind is behind them. They're running down, trying to keep their bows up, and there's a lazy swell which they're having to compensate for.
And their speed, 145.17 kilometers an hour. That's 90.15. Not the speeds that we're used to. Now, Jolly Moto 2, no wins in the pole series. A best of second behind Spirit of Norway 6 in Russia. And that puts them in second place here in the Lebanon after their first run. Now, Spirit of Norway 10, this is their second run. Yeltsin and Curtis, their best was second in Toronto, their fourth overall, but miserable form since Italy, Derek.
Yeah, they've been still dialing this boat in because this was the new one this season. Shell Rocky had a chance over the winter. They're getting it together. Everybody's on smaller props, and Stevie looked a little bit more confident.
And Victory One have secured victory in this round of the pole position championship, their second win of the season. Jolly Moto in second place.
Yeah, well, that'll keep the Arabs happy. Very good win there.
Felt good. The boat handled real good. We had a good selection between prop and ratio. We just felt after we replaced the motor yesterday, and you know, we knew we were in good shape. It's a matter of just having a good, clean run. I think we, in my opinion, the second run was much faster on my GPS. So, I mean, Felix did a great job. Tremendous.
Victory One from the UAE, driven by Saeed Tayer and Felix Serrales. Congratulations.
So Victory One have a successful start to their weekend. They sit proudly on top of the pole position World Championship standings, 117 points clear of Spirit of Norway 6. So on to the Lebanese Grand Prix itself. The pits are a hive of activity before the race, though some, like Pipo Gasconi, pilot of Giat 12, can relax with a cigar. Other competitors are rather less relaxed. Jolly Moto Ferretti lead the World Championship standings. Bjorn Yelston of Spirit of Norway 10 looks pensive. Eduardo Poli on board Bilboa makes final checks on his hatch. He looks nervous. The team ethic of victory is demonstrated as Altair wishes Victory 4 good luck. But it really is a last opportunity for Victory One to get back on track in the World Championship. 4 races, no wins, and just 4th place in the standings. Choppy conditions for once greet the boats for an offshore race. 11 laps, 118.68 nautical miles. Let's join Mark Robson and Derek Lloyd.
And there's the yellow flag, that's the gathering flag. Final preparations, the point of no return if you like. 7 boats in the race, 6 of them with Lamborghini engines. And 3 from the United Arab Emirates, as you can see. And a huge band of spectators around this course. And away we go, and a very familiar sight at the start there, Derek. Blue in front.
Yeah, Victory One side, Altair's got a very good start, but everybody is accelerating away, and in fact they're catching up on him already. In the foreground here, there's Bilba 24. He can't have been wrong prop because he's gone as low as he possibly can.
Well, the conditions are choppy out there. The speeds will be down today, Derek, I imagine.
Yeah, there's not going to be 150 mile an hour speeds that we've seen in these flat races, but they'll be topping up to 100. Lazy swell coming in every other breaker, and they're running into the wind, which has swung around twice already this morning.
Well, it's not blue in front right now. It's Spirit of Norway 10, the only boat left from Norway after the fire in Spirit of Norway 6 in Oslo.
Yeah, Stevie and I had a little chat this morning. He's very confident. They've looked at the propellers, they've been out and tested, and the knowing smile has also belied that they're right in the lead, but the boats behind them are flying. Jolly Motors Ferretti there being chased by Bilber even.
Well, Spirit of Norway 10 getting away to a fabulous start. In first place, the average speed 133.81. Well, as we suspected, it's not going to be a fast race, but it could be a dramatic one.
Round that bottom bend off the Bay of Beirut, and they're coming back with the docks behind them. They pulled out a tremendous lead already.
A bit of a surprise here. Spirit of Norway 10 have just 2 finishes in the series so far. That's in Russia and in Oslo. 2 fourths as well, though. Lots of retirements, 3 in fact.
But there's a battle in second place with Jolly Motor Ferretti and Said El Tire really trying. He has got to get a good finish. In fact, he's got to get a win today, keep him in touch in the championship.
The end of the first lap, an 11-lap race. Let me remind you, it's Norway 10 from Jolly Moto. And there's number 12, that's Giat with Simone and Gasconi, the Italians, and the only non-Lamborghini engine in the race. But it's still Spirit of Norway 10 in the lead. The gap, I think, is widening. And, of course, that's a new boat, Derek.
Yeah, both the Spirit of Norway boats are new this season. Shell in number 6 had it over the winter, and Stephen Bjorn in 10 have had a bit more problems getting it dialed in. That's Mike Peters' design, as is Jolly Motors Ferretti, the championship leader.
Spirit of Norway 10 having to do most of their testing, though, Derek, during the races. They've had very little time to prepare this boat. Norwegian management team looking on approvingly. It's going well.
Yes, it looks like they finally cracked it, and this is the sort of sea conditions that Curtis is used to. He's raced offshore in rough waters of Cowes Torquay, Cowes, etc., and loves it. Tremendous shot again, coming back from the turn at the bay.
Yes, absolutely amazing. And who would have thought that a race, a sporting event of this caliber would ever make it to this part of the world? They've had their troubles, and Victory 4 have certainly had their troubles in the championship series, and today lying 6th only. And there's your leader, Spirit of Norway 10, hammering along. In second place, Jolly Moto Ferretti, and the Victory Boat 3rd.
Good battle going on for second place here. It's Said El Tire in Victory 1, desperately to keep up with them. He's not letting Jolly Motors get away at all. 2 seconds difference.
Norway 10 still in the lead. Victory 4, they've made quite a few modifications. More on that later. There's Bilboa, 24 there, and now in 4th place, an average speed of 140.48 kilometers per hour. And currently 2nd in the World Championship Series. Well, here's Jolly Moto Ferretti in 2nd spot. Not too far clear of Victory 1 in 3rd place. Well, they should be closer than that, and it's Bilboa now up to 3rd. What has happened to Victory 1? Is that the end of the World Championship for them?
Oh, this is a disaster for Said and Dubai. This is the man that's trying to retain his title. He hasn't had a win yet. He's led on a couple of races and then broken terribly, and it looks like he's got engine problems again. No points, so he'll stay at 306 and probably slip down a place in the table.
It's going to be difficult for them to defend that World Championship successfully. 3 rounds to go after this, but leading here in Beirut, and very impressively too, is Spirit of Norway 10. World Championship leaders, Jolly Moto Ferretti. What a run they've had. They won in Russia, Norway, and in Scandinavia. Tunisian round was cancelled, so going for 4 in a row. It's all glitz and glamour here in Beirut.
Oh, there's been a tremendous showing out in Beirut this weekend, but great showing there by Bilber, 24. He's got it right on his lowest propellers, and he's got to be happy.
But the Big Bang Theory for Victory 1.
Another engine let go. We've had the worst luck this year. I don't know what's going on, but hopefully in Dubai we can win some races over there, because we've just had terrible luck.
Yeah, that was their 2nd retirement of the series. Quite a bit of seasickness out there for them this season, but it's Norway 10 still in the lead from Jolly Moto. They're going well. Remember, they lead the championship. Bilboa 3rd. And another, oh, well, there's the strobe light flashing, Derek. Another retirement for the Victory boat.
Yeah, this is a disaster for Victory. These, in fact, were leading the championship in 3rd place, so again, no points.
We lost an engine or a drive on the left side. It started vibrating real bad, so we shut it off and came back on one engine. I think there's going to be a lot of attrition because of the rough water, so we'll see how it all sorts at the end of the day.
There shouldn't be any stress on the Lamborghinis in this event. It's quite rough, so therefore it's a lot slower, but lots of people have had engine problems.
And so the script has been written early on, and it's a familiar one. Engine problems for Victory. They're not a happy team. It leaves Spirit of Norway 10 in a comfortable position. By the end of lap 4, Yelston and Curtis have a 27-second lead. Bilboa and Jolly Motor Ferretti are having a right old scrap for second. Bilboa taking over from Jolly Motor at the end of the same lap. We rejoin the action and our commentary team on lap 6.
Well, still an untroubled afternoon for Bjorn Yelston and Stevie Curtis in Spirit of Norway 10. They're still in first place. And Bjorn's birthday was 4 days ago. A nice prezi would be a win. That's 24, Bilboa. They're in second place behind Spirit of Norway 10. And in third place, the World Championship leaders, Jolly Moto Ferretti. There you are, 146.27 kilometres per hour. But a very interesting line here on the inside by the championship leaders, Derek.
Yeah, young Leith Ferrone's trying to cut up on the inside and take a shorter turn, but Bilba, veteran of Offshore, has really gone for it.
Victory 4, and they've been doing quite a bit of a modification, a bit of rebuilding too. And that's Jade, the slow boat to Beirut. They're in fifth place, 104.14 kilometres per hour, and well behind.
And there's Jolly Motors Ferretti. They're really tomping on, but they've got 23 seconds to pick up. No, they haven't. That's Spirit of Norway. They're dead in the water.
And another bad day at the beach for the Lamborghini engines. What is wrong with this machinery? It seems to blow time after time. There's Curtis out in the back to have a look, but their race is well and truly over.
We were trying to save the boat and finish the race. And then suddenly, out of nowhere, one of the engines let us down. Very frustrating.
With Norway 10 out of the race, we're down to just 4 boats. Eduardo Poli and Lamberto Leone in Bilboa 24 doing their level best to stop Leith Ferrone and John Tomlinson in Jolly Motor Ferretti from earning a 4th consecutive win. Behind them, Victory 4 may be lapped, but at least they're keeping the UAE flag flying. But it's that battle for the lead between the Italians that has the dignitaries, including Sheikh Ahmed and the Lebanese Prime Minister, as well as the big crowds enthralled. Just 7 seconds the lead for Bilboa over Jolly Motor as they go into the final lap. And it's there that we rejoin Derek, Mark and the 2 others still going in the Lebanese Grand Prix.
Giat, because of the retirement of Spirit of Norway 10, they're up to 4th, the real workhorses of this championship. They finished every race, and the only boat in this particular round not to be using a Lamborghini engine. And Victory 4, well, they've made some modifications. We mentioned them earlier, Derek.
Yeah, they're certainly looking a lot happier in this water. They worked all night and modified underneath the hulls to have it ready for today's race.
But we're right into the finishing straight now. It's number 24, Bilboa, in the lead. It's been a very demanding day, physically, not just on the machinery. Exhausting it can be. It can get so hot in there. And remember, Eduardo Poli in that boat, he's 52 years of age, but they look like they're going to make it.
Yeah, they'll be steaming with sweat. I spoke with Polly yesterday. They turned the air intakes round to stop the water getting in, but they don't get any fresh air, and it's just a disaster. They're sweating, and there's his venting. He's actually got an open hatch.
Well, it's the red hatchbacks going to win this race. What a performance it was from them. They may be dehydrated, but they've evaporated the rest of the field. Jolly Moto in second, but they'll still lead the World Championship.
Tremendous crowds in Lebanon. They've lined the streets. They've been right round the breakwaters. There's Polly. He's looking absolutely exhausted.
Well, tired he may be, but tired and happy. Bilboa 24, the Italians, 1 hour, 30 minutes, 19 seconds. The victory for them. And Polly, well, he can't even pull himself to his feet to raise his arms in the air. Jolly Moto, well, he didn't win today, but I think they'll be fairly pleased with the way the championship's going. And Polly, well, a smile on his face, but well, he is totally drained.
Yeah, they say it's a playboy sport, but boy, he's really worked hard out there today.
I'm okay now. I mean, we changed the air intake not to have water come in, but since the water didn't come in, the air did not come in either. So I was in real lack of some fresh air. So there wasn't one leg going down, which was a little bit flatter, that I held the canopy open with my hand. And so, of course, I hurt my shoulder in doing so, but it was okay.
And the winner of the Lebanese Grand Prix Heat 7 UIM Class 1 World Offshore Championship 1997 is Bilboa from Italy, driven by Edoardo Polli and Lamberto Leoni. Congratulations.
It's a win that helps Polli and Leoni into second place overall. They and Jolly Motor will contest the championship over the final 3 races of the season in Dubai. But there's widespread discontent afterwards concerning the performance of the Lamborghini engines. There's been a partnership between Class 1 and Lamborghini this season, a partnership that was welcomed by the Italian manufacturers at the outset.
Lamborghini is the leader of international technology for engines, and this is a continuation of our improvement. Thanks to this investment in research and development, we will keep our worldwide leadership.
But all is not well with their engines, and there has been a chorus of criticism from the teams who use them, including Victory 1.
Frankly speaking, I'm not very happy with the engine builder so far.
And that was a quote before a crankshaft broke to send him out of the race here. This was his reaction afterwards.
We're not just getting the performance and the support from the engine builder. You know, I would have to sit and express my opinion at the end of the day and evaluate really where we stand with Lamborghini at this stage.
Steve Curtis, the British throttle man from the Spirit of Norway 10 team, is another less than happy with the performance of the engines.
There's a problem that a lot of the guys seem to be having, and it's a crankshaft, and maybe there's a faulty bunch of cranks, but it's the second one we've gone.
But to their credit, Lamborghini have acknowledged the problems.
When the beginning of the season, we had the whole team was involved in Lamborghini. We thought was maybe more easier here, but we did a big mistake with that, because now every team try to make perfect all utilization of the boat, and the engine are utilized 100%, sometimes maybe a little more.
So while one Italian is feeling under pressure, 2 others from Bilboa are feeling on top of the world. For Dubai's victory, there's no joy in the Lebanon, but they're about the only losers from a great event. Join us again for the last 3 races of the season, but for now, from Beirut, goodbye from us all.